Welcome back to Teddy Gone Rogue. In 2025, men are no longer approaching women and they are freaking out about it. Make sure to like and subscribe on the way in, and let's get straight into the video.
I was speaking to my mum about dating, and because I'm out a lot for work and things like that and I love to socialize, she was like, have you met anyone out? And I'm like, well, I will see a guy that say I've texted or met online or have mutuals with, and he will look at me and then turn away and then message saying hey, you looked gorgeous today. And that's a universal experience for every girl. Guys will just text you later on, and mum's like, what the fuck? When I would go out, if a guy was interested, he'd straight up go hey, I'm interested in you, whatever, what's your number? And if you liked him, you'd give him your real one. If you didn't, you'd change one digit. That's what she said to me. My mum did make a point that I go for socially awkward private school boys that don't know how to talk to girls because they went to single-sex schools, so that's a big factor too. But I took it upon myself to call my guy friend and literally ask for the answers. I'm just tell me what is stopping guys from just approaching girls naturally and not sleazy, just literally for a conversation. Because guys that do that reap the benefits anyway. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to be a sleaze to pull a girl in the first place. My guy friend said unless a girl is making it that obvious, at a pub for example, that she's into him, he's she has to fully be waving at me for me to think to go over. And he said that rejection just isn't worth it these days because that girls have higher standards of men, so guys genuinely feel they just aren't good enough and to go up and introduce themselves. And I'm that's actually kind of sad because I do feel girls are getting judgier, but I also feel boys are the same. And I think it goes down to dating apps and social media, obviously. But dating apps is shopping, no, yes, no. So it's people are getting pickier, but yeah, it's people don't know how to socialize anymore, and it's really sad.
Girls have been shouting on the internet that the only men that they're after are over 6 foot, make over 6 figures, have a 6-pack of abs, and have 6 in other areas as well. Now, although some men are able to cater to those needs, not all men can. And because of that, most men are probably not going to approach you because it's just not worth it. Most insecure men that think that these things matter or that feel less than because of these things being said, yes, those insecure men are not going to hit on you because they're going to feel less than, because all of you have been saying this to them. But the true reason, if you want to know, as to why men are not going to approach you, and I'm talking the men that are confident, not the ones that are insecure, the men that you want to approach you, the good looking ones. The reason that those men won't approach you is because they know that you're not worth it, because they know your body count is probably too high, they know that you're probably not a great person. They know all this stuff just by looking at you and just by the way that women have treated men in the last 10 to 20 years. Most of the men that you want do not want you. If you want men to approach you, yes, you do have to give them some sort of actual sign that you'd like to be approached. But to be honest, guys, you don't need to approach women. It's a bad strategy. As you just heard, her mother used to say, you give them a number with a fake digit or whatever. It's not really the best way to go about it. The truth is, you should work on yourself, become a better version of yourself, and let the women come to you, because that happens. It works. And then you don't have to go out of your way to do anything. And the women that are attracted to you, they will come to you and they will make themselves known. And you can just pick from them, as opposed to trying to approach and trying to be, I don't even know what people do when they approach. I've never had to do it. I don't know. There's no real need to approach a woman. You can go up to them and start a chat. Absolutely. If you wanted to put yourself in their environment to feel them out, maybe they are really pretty, maybe they are really cute or something. I don't know. Maybe they're giving off some sort of vibe to you and you want to check it. Totally get that. That's the most approaching a man should do. Other than that, get to know them, find out if they're even worth your time or not. And then if they're not worth your time, I wouldn't bother moving forward with it at all. And if they are worth your time, well then, exchange numbers, whatever.
The dating scene in Australia is not for the faint-hearted. As a Brit who has lived here for 2 years now, I have noticed some differences between Australian men and English men, so I just thought we would discuss. The first difference is the fact that Australian men do not approach women. When I first got here, I genuinely thought I am ugly to Australians because the men, they might stare at you, you'll catch them looking, but they're not coming up to you. That's your job. If you don't want to be making the first move, you're not going to be talking to men. Say goodbye to your love life. In England, if you are on a night out, best believe if a guy is interested, he will be hitting on you, he will be offering to buy you drink. It's just wild to see the difference. On the back of this, I don't know if it's because of the fact that Australian men don't approach, but Australian women, very direct. They will go for what they want, and they're beautiful. So they get what they want. For us girlies that don't want to be making the first moves, it does leave you in a bit of a pickle.
If men approach women in Australia, there is a high likelihood, because of the media here that is heavily against men, that the women are not going to act in a pleasant manner towards them.
So why do men no longer come up to women? But most of their responses said something like, we were told not to go up to you guys, and we were told that you want to be left alone, and you just want your own space, and you don't want us approaching you. Which for some women that can absolutely be true, but I love meeting people in person, and I just think that it takes a confident person to go up to someone when you see them in person, and I think it's a really cool way to meet people rather than meeting people online. And we're also saying things like they were called creeps and weirdos, and they don't want to be called that. It's not a pleasant experience. But I will say that it has to do with how you approach a woman. Like, for example, myself and my friends have had men come up to us with a really, really intense energy, like a very in-your-face energy, and they're really nervous and they're kind of scattered and they're very pushy or weird, and their energy is just off. And one of the most attractive things to a woman is emotional intelligence, and that shows within like the first few seconds of meeting someone.
What she means by emotional intelligence is they like you to be attractive to them. And if you're not attractive to them, then you're not emotionally intelligent. That's the way they see it. It doesn't mean, by the way, that if you do approach a woman and she turns you down, that you are unattractive. It means you are unattractive to her. Her who has been given these incredibly high standards by social media, who just shows you the highlights of life and shows you the best of men and everything else, and the dating apps where she has slept with the top 5% of guys in her city, and so has every other woman there. And by the top 5% of guys, I don't mean the top 5% of guys as in of character, which is what they should be looking for in a man, because that's who's going to marry them, a man of character. But what they actually look for is simple. They look for someone who's attractive because they want to be seen as better than their friends to their friends. And they can be seen as that if they find a man that's more attractive than their man. It's purely a narcissistic endeavor. So when a woman does turn you down when you approach her, be happy about that. Just move along and find another one.
If you go out and you are receiving non-stop attention, you need to go home and change. You look cheap and you look easy. I'm going to tell you the most counterintuitive thing you've ever heard. And I know, it makes no sense, but hear me out. When you do go out with friends or on dates or whatever the case may be, and barely any men come up to you, few, once in a while, whatever, that's how you know you did it right. You need to look expensive. You need to look like, if you are going to approach me, am I in your price range? Because this hoo-ha ain't cheap. And here's a tip to do it. Pick one asset and show that. So it's either your boobs, your butt, your legs, your back. Show no more than that. Men like a little mystery. If you show everything, what do they need you for? They can see every little curve on your body. They've seen it. What's to do? Pick one body part and accentuate that. So if you go out and you're feeling so good and every man at that bar is hitting on you, girl, go home. Nothing good will come of it. And the men who do hit on you are trash. You look easy as fuck. I know that's harsh, but mommy's here to help you. I love you.
First of all, if you're going out to a bar to look expensive, even less guys are going to approach you than are currently approaching you. We are well and truly onto the gold digger explosion that has happened over the last 10 to 20 years. Guys are well and truly tuned into that, and we are avoiding it at all costs. If we see you dressed in gold, like a lot of little gold accessories, you're trying to make yourself look as expensive as possible. One, that does not attract the man that you're looking for, because the man that you're looking for, the man with money, the man that can just provide for you and you can just live the soft, easy life, he knows you're hunting for him if you're dressed like that. And he's staying away from you because he's assuming that you have a bag of tricks to take whatever you can from him down the line if he even gives you a chance, because you're clearly prepped for it. Two, every other man who knows what the game is, which is the vast majority of men now in 2025, are going to look at you and basically just go, not worth the trouble. There's no point in approaching her. Even if there was a decent dude that actually wanted to date you, maybe he thought you were pretty, because he can see that you're trying to look expensive, you're trying to look like a little treat for a rich guy, he's gonna go, okay, she's basically somebody who's attempting to take up the world's oldest profession. That's a wrap for everyone watching on YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey, and Rumble. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to check out my Patreon page. The link is in the description of this video. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments down below. I'll see you in the next one.